From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene just a few moments ago, predictably loud and raucous here in KC as their beloved Chiefs took the field, and they are set to match up with the Denver Broncos. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. Well, Charles, you think about this defense. This week in preparation, you couldn't hide the fact from them that they're facing a team that's lost 7 in a row. You just wonder if they prepared the same way they normally do.
Yeah, that's a great question because normally that preparation goes into what you do well on defense. What is the best thing that you do going into a game? But in this case, you might want to take all the tendencies and throw them out the window. I would expect them to throw every trick play in the book right out of the gate in order to try and get something established and get things moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. This defense for the Chiefs, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
From the gun on third, Watson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And some room to maneuver. And all the way home for a Broncos score. So there, Charles, I mean, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run, he was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone.
I think defensively, when you look at a play like that, that's when everyone looks at their teammates and starts shaking their heads a little bit because now you're wondering, what are we in for? Worked all week to try and limit the big play ability that he possesses, and he winds up taking one to the house in the very first quarter. That was a tremendous run.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now the first carry for Cam Akers. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as he gets it up past the 35.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Mahomes firing complete. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's a run with Akers on second down. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Now here's Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on third down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
Sliding out of the pocket and going deep for Hill, and that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Tyreek Hill, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. 1-7, their record here at the midway point of the season. And right now, this organization, more than likely, if you look at it, CD, probably in for a rough second half of the season.
Well, we've seen teams turn things around in other places. I mean, we've seen 1-7 first halves turn into 5-3 second halves. But with this squad, I think these guys aren't playing to get into the playoffs. They're playing for their jobs. So is the coaching staff. They're coaching for theirs. Front office trying to keep theirs. The heat is on from all directions. And what's interesting is a lot of these guys are playing for jobs and trying to keep their positions. It might be just in the league in some other spot.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Nick Bolton. And the Chiefs are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. Seven, our score after one. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Second and 10. From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Here's Akers. Gets past one man. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 41 yards on the ground for him so far.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. And it's caught off the deflection. And he will have the Chiefs first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Well, sure looked pretty coming off of his hand, but sometimes you might have to take a little bit off of it. That one looked a little too hot to handle.
Yeah, but off the tip, hey, they still got the catch, right?
It's amazing, isn't it? Even when it goes wrong, it turns out right.
They'll run on first down with Akers. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Mahomes to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Christian Kirk, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
Now on 2nd and 13. Watson flush to his right. And down he'll go at the 25. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they fell behind early, but since then, 2 touchdowns and a 14-7 lead.
Yeah, they found the end zone on their first 2 drives, and even more so after the defense gave up the first lead. With these last 2 drives, obviously they inspired their D because they shut them down the last time out. They hope to continue that string.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. They'll roll him out right. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will be taken down, but a big play there as it comes just as we reach the 2-minute warning. It's a big play there for the Chiefs. On play action, it's Mahomes. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Now, that last pass CD, he just added another notch to the old belt. What a career it's been. He's over 35,000 career passing yards now.
And when you say that number, over 35,000 yards, how many people have done that prior to him?
Right around 30.
Boy, that's a pretty good number. Now you're into a membership that means you've done a heck of a job in this league for a decent amount of time. You're recognized as one of the better players.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On the move to his left. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Now a 1st down throw. Watson. He'll buy some time right. Well, that's complete to Sanders. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. To throw again on 2nd down. Watson flushed out right. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw, Watson. Out to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a nail. That's Sanders. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Vic Fangio, an old school coach, but he's going to go for it here on 4th. They will indeed snap it to Watson. He's got his tight end fan. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, Watson rolling to his right.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nate Hobbs.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air.
They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room.
Oh, he sheds himself free and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Now a give. Akers running left.
And he's got some space here. And he'll be out of bounds.
118 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Akers is in. Touchdown, Chiefs.
Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Watson.
On the slant, it's Fant.
And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half. And down 3 scores, a lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in. But
all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Chiefs take advantage of the turnover and put up 6.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Broncos 7. Harrison Butker taking 4 Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long,
They've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long.
And now Watson throws another interception.
Picked off around the 37. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
Andy, do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. They go play action. Now Mahomes. And it's caught. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill. A 24-yard touchdown.
And the Chiefs get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Here's Watson.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Watson. And he will find his man Samuel. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good game and a 1st down.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
The 71 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
They'll run. It's Sanders. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he's taken down inside the 30.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been any. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound.
And this is going to be intercepted. snags it for the pick. Quite a decision there on fourth down. They didn't just want the first. They wanted 6 points, and following the interception, they're going to come away with neither.
And that's too bad, partner, because they really went for it on that one, right? Because I think in their mind, sometimes the illogical play is a logical play. But in this case, they were wrong.
And they're going deep for Hill. He's got a man. Complete. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
I think you can make a fair case for Tyreek Hill being the most explosive player in the NFL when he gets his hands on the football, and that was Exhibit A.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Watson now to throw. And incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
He was looking for Miles Sanders out of the backfield, and it's 3rd down. Now Watson. It's caught by Sanders. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Watson's throw going into the hands of Williams. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Running right, here's Sanders. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Watson. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And the Broncos are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Now Watson from the gun, he'll throw. And once again, this is Sanders. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Out of the gun, Watson sliding out of the pocket. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Deshaun Watson. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Broncos get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for 2. Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. And this is caught, so they do get the 2. Still a very large deficit, but maybe something to feel a little better about.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Takes it at the 7. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They go play fake. Mahomes. They'll roll him out right. They complete it to Hill. And he goes out right around the 39. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And he'll just get rid of it. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in...
And the Chiefs are going to get him.
It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a big play there for the Broncos. He's going to let it fly. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. To throw again on 2nd down. Watson. The Sanders has got it complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. Oh, he's going to go for it all. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. I guess at this point, Charles, heck, why not take some shots?
I would agree with that totally, because a big play can't hurt at all. Heck, you might get a pass interference call out of it. Somehow the ball might get tipped up and you come down with it. Might not do too much for the result of the game, but it could add to your stats.
A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. On first down, it's Watson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, Watson eluding the pressure right. He finds his man complete. That's Sanders. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. He finds his man complete. It's Sanders. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Now a first down throw, Watson. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
And he'll be out right at the 35. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. One last throw here for Watson. And that's caught for the additional 2 points. It will only matter the final scoreline, and that is the final act of this game. Well, at least at the very end, there's something to take away. They lost the game, but got in the end zone, got a 2-point conversion as well. I don't know, though. In the end, you still lost the football game.
You still lost the game, but maybe they were just capitalizing on the flurry at the end, right? You scored the touchdown, keep the momentum going, go for 2. Maybe they're working on something for down the road. As you said, it doesn't matter. You lose the game, but you finish with a touchdown and a successful 2-point conversion.
Some sort of a building block.
Yeah, something.
So for Kansas City, they run the